All right, well, it's been delayed for years, but no longer. You will now need to have that real ID if you want to get through security and then get on an airplane to fly anywhere in the United States.
So if you've flown recently, you probably noticed the TSA is handing out these reminder slips with that QR code to get you through security. It tells you everything you need to know about getting a real ID. Right now, almost half the people in Massachusetts don't have a real ID, and time is running out to get one. If you're looking to fly without the real ID, you could be in real trouble.
Attention U.S. flyers. The real deadline for the Real ID is rapidly approaching.
The Real ID law was passed by Congress back in 2005 at the recommendation of the 9/11 Commission.
The hijackers back in 9/11 had more than 30 false identification cards. So with the Real ID Act, what they're trying to do is make it so that people aren't just using fraudulent IDs anytime they're traveling, especially by plane.
Dan Velez is the TSA spokesperson for New England. While the implementation for the Real ID has been delayed multiple times, this time they mean it.
It's not going to be delayed again.
So the Real ID looks like your old driver's license, although the picture's a lot younger. I just went through the process and got my Real ID in the mail a couple of weeks ago. You can tell it's a Real ID. It's got the star in the upper corner, and you're going to need this Real ID if you use your license to travel. You won't get through security and possibly won't get on a plane without the Real ID after the deadline of May 7th, 2025, just 6 months away. But do travelers know what the Real ID is?
I believe it's an ID that you need to just for air travel moving forward, is what I understand.
And do you have the Real ID?
I do not.
No?
I haven't traveled in a while.
Let's take a look.
Looking for the little star.
All right, I don't have my
There it
glasses
is.
on, so you'll have to look. I guess.
Oh, you get the star, Sue. Well done.
So in Massachusetts, we have 55% compliance at this time, which is right in line with the national averages at 56% nationally. So more work to be done.
Which is why Massachusetts Registrar of Motor Vehicles, Colleen Ogilvie, wants to make sure everyone knows about the coming deadline and what it takes to get the Real ID.
People think you can just walk in and do this transaction.
But you can't. It requires some work on your part. First, by booking an appointment online with the registry, and then you're going to need a stack of documents, a passport or birth certificate to confirm lawful presence. Then proof of a Social Security number, a non-laminated Social Security card or something that shows your Social Security number, a W-2 or pay stub. And to prove your residency, you're going to need two of the following: your current license and some sort of tax bill or utility bill, your mortgage, your lease, or an insurance policy, anything that shows your address.
It's a call to action now. Prepare now. If you have a license or ID renewal that's coming up, convert to the Real ID at this point.
If you don't have a Real ID, you could still use a passport to get on a flight after the deadline, but most people don't carry a passport when flying domestically. Come May 8th, 2025, if you don't have a passport or you just have a regular driver's license and you don't have the Real ID, are you not going to get on an airplane?
If there's no phased-in approach at that particular time, they will not be able to fly that day.
So that's why don't wait till the last minute. If you have travel planned in May and you don't have an active passport, you really should get a Real ID in Massachusetts.
Now, I reached out to the TSA spokesman. As of this morning, he told me there is nothing happening at the moment when it comes to phasing in the program. So the May 7th deadline is locked in right now. So how involved is the process? Well, I got my Real ID at a AAA location. I registered online and brought all of my paperwork and backups just to be safe. You need to have it organized. And if you do, you should be in and out of there in 15 minutes or so. At least that was my experience. You'll be given a temporary Real ID with the official one showing up in the mail about 2 weeks later. And once you'll get it, you'll be free to fly about the country come next May and beyond.
Important information there. Get on it if you haven't already. 7:18. Let's take you out.